Welcome back to Panther Sports Zone. My name is Khalid Gray.
And I'm Joshua Fontenot.
And today we have a lot of information that we got for the last 2 weeks. I mean, we haven't been as active as we would like to be, but it's okay. You know why? Because we will always come back with updated news and more up-to-date statistics and things of that nature when it comes to sports. But how have you been? I know we've both been at the Cactus Jack Classic. It was cold.
Yes.
I think that's just the number one thing there. I just, you know, a lot of good experiences. I even got a baseball from there. I got a lot of things. They had a Cactus Jack bobblehead there. It was really cool too. But what was your experience being there as we go into the stories we have for today?
Well, my experience was kind of good. Sadly, I did not get a ball
or
a bobblehead, but it was a good experience. You know, just seeing just HBCUs, like having just a platform just to, you know, be recognized, you know, on the baseball side of things, because normally we don't get as much opportunities, you know, for colleges just have like a baseball, like ESPN and all that stuff compared to like, you know, football and basketball. You know, I'm a baseball fan. I used to play baseball,
you know,
so I had a blast. But let's get right into it.
Let's get right into it. So our first story for today is men's basketball. The PV men's basketball team took the court on February 10th, 2025 against Florida A&M Rattlers at the William J. Nix Baby Dome, falling 78-67 in a tough conference matchup. The Rattlers entered the game on a winning streak while the Panthers were battling a 6-game skid after a strong start in conference play. Despite tying the game twice, Prairie View never gained the lead. In the first half, they struggled from deep, missing 8 3-pointers and heading into halftime down by 12. The second half saw a more determined Panther squad, outscoring the Rattlers by 1 point, but their efforts fell short. Despite the loss, the Panthers showcased strong ball movement and disciplined defense, being able to minimize turnovers and personal fouls. They scored 32 points in the paint and got a boost from their bench with 20 points. Braylon Bush led the team with 22 points and 5 assists, while Tanaj Petway contributed with 14 points. On the defensive end, Elijah Terry pulled down 8 rebounds, and Marcel Bryant added 6 rebounds of his own, along with a block, being dominant on the defensive end. On February 15th, the Panthers took the Southern Jaguars, a team having an outstanding conference season. The game pitted 2 teams on opposite trajectories, one looking to extend its dominance and the other one hoping to find stability. The Panthers struggled from 3-point range in the first half, making just 1 of 6 attempts and shooting under 40%, which is something that we don't necessarily see from this team, leaving them trailing by 16 points at half. Although they outscored Southern in the second half, the early deficit proved too much, leading to a 12-point loss. Highlights included 34 points in the paint and 18 second chance points, demonstrating their grit and hustle. Braylon Bush led the Panthers again with 19 points, followed closely by Tanaj Petway with 18. Off the bench, Zakir Sawyer made a major impact, scoring 17 of the team's 19 bench points. Then, after that matchup, Prairie View took on Grambling State February 17th at Grambling, where they took the loss to the Grambling State Tigers, 48-70. The keys to the game were the fact that Grambling outscored the Panthers by 21 points in the second half, widening the gap and eliminating any chance for a comeback. For Prairie View, Braylon Bush, Tanaj Petway, and Jordan Tillman contributed for 92% of the Panthers' points. Braylon Bush led the charge with 20 points. Jordan Tillman and Tanaj Petway each had 12 points. The Panthers look towards their next matchup against UAPB, where they will take on the Golden Lions and look to turn their season around.
Now, moving forward, we're going to talk about the women's basketball team. And so the Lady Panthers battled the Grambling State Tigers on February 13th, suffering a tough loss, 75-54 loss against a top 5 SWAC team. Prairie View started strong, forcing Grambling with a 28% shooting performance in the first half. While taking a 4-point lead, however, the Tigers turned the tide in the second quarter, scoring 16 points and securing a 6-point halftime lead. The third quarter remained competitive, but the fourth saw Grambling dominate with a 26-point performance. Turnovers were a more major factor as Prairie View committed 32, allowing Grambling to capitalize with a 35 points of turnovers. Adriana Waddle led the Lady Panthers, contributing offensively while anchoring the defense with 6 rebounds and 3 blocks. Asher Thompson and Crystal Schultz each added 9 points. Next, Prairie View faced Southern, suffering a crushing 86-42 loss. The Panthers never led in the game, struggling to keep the deficit within single digits. Turnovers continue to be an issue, with Southern capitalizing for 32 points. Prairie View's offense was led by Nia Jordan with 11 points, while Amari Williams and Crystal Schultz added 8 and 7 respectively. The Lady Panthers returned to the court on February 20th at 6 p.m. in the Baby Dome against Mississippi Valley. Let's rally behind them.
Moving forward, we're going to go directly into men's golf. The Prairie View men's golf team recently competed at the Bentwater Intercollegiate, finishing 13th overall with a 19 over par score of 303. Harsh weather conditions made play difficult, but the Panthers showed resilience. Jacob Holloway led the team, shooting a 70 to tie for 32nd place. Kenneth Melendez finished 5 over par with a score of 76, while Jayden Thompson, Joa Bramwell, and Gage Gallo contributed scores of 78, 81, and 79 respectively. Next, the Panthers head to New Orleans for the Gulf Coast Intercollegiate on February 24th and 25th. Best of luck, Panthers.
The annual Cactus Jack Classic has concluded, and our Panthers fought hard against the SWAC counterparts. This event took 3 days, each more exciting and jam-packed than the last. On Friday, February 14th, Prairie View dominated the Alabama A&M Bulldogs 10-6 and was forced to make a statement about being in the tournament. The Panthers took charge earlier in the first inning with an RBI by Landon Williams, but were met with a score from the Jaguars in the second inning, tying the game. The fifth inning proved to be the crushing blow that was needed to put the Jaguars away, with players Landon Williams, Brandon Johnson, and Mac Bowie each scoring an RBI to help the Panthers take on a huge lead and a stolen base from Landon Williams and a score from Jaden Williams. The road this momentum throughout the game. On the scene in Kenneth Richardson, was able to cover the dominant win.
Welcome back to another episode of Panther Sports Zone. I'm your host, Kenneth Richardson, and we are here live at Minute Maid Park for the Cactus Jack Classic, where our Prairie View Panthers are looking to take on Alabama A&M in a exhibition matchup. As you know, our Panthers won last year in the Cactus Jack Classic, and they're looking to repeat in another year, where they are looking to dominate the Brazilians on the field every single time. We are excited. Tip-off is scheduled for 4:05, and we can't wait to see what our Panthers do in action.
Prairie View easily scored in the first inning, but was met with retaliation as Alabama A&M scored in the second inning. Prairie View then proceeded to score 5 runs in the span of the third, fourth, and fifth inning. The dominance continued as they proceeded to score another run in the 7th inning. The 8th inning showcased Prairie View picking up 3 runs, nullifying Alabama A&M's 4 runs scored between the 8th and the 9th inning. This performance ultimately put them at a 10-6 advantage, winning the game at the end of the ballgame. This marked the first win of the Cactus Jack Classic. Kenneth Richardson is on the sideline to get not only coach interviews, but player interviews as well.
Another successful win for the Prairie View A&M Panthers. They beat Alabama A&M 10-6. And a competitive matchup throughout the whole entire game, with Michael Smith getting a home run in the 8th inning and Landon Williams getting a home run in the 3rd inning. A Brazilian matchup for Prairie View Panthers as they take a 1-0 series lead for the whole entire Cactus Jack Classic tournament. The Prairie View Panthers will be back Saturday, tomorrow at 7 p.m. against Southern University. Welcome back to Panther Sports Zone. I'm here after an astonishing win from the Prairie View A&M men's baseball team. Coach, y'all played exceptional today. Obviously a little here and there errors for the game, but overall y'all played amazing, and we're great to come out with a win. How does this win get y'all on a good track for the rest of this weekend?
Oh man, it's always good to get the first win out of the way of the year. I knew the guys were going to come out and be a little nervous just because of the venue that we're playing in. We did what we needed to do in order to get the win, but we got some cleaning up to do defensively, and we got to do a better job coming out of the pen throwing strikes.
Definitely. So y'all were successful today with 2 home runs. Obviously y'all played amazing overall wise on the offensive end. Obviously you said that you need to fix some things on the defensive end. What are the adjustments that y'all need to make tomorrow for a Southern, a great team that's also going to be playing?
Oh man, you got to play a complete game, right? Pitching, defense, and hitting. We got good timely hitting today. I always tell the guys when we're hitting the ball the other way, it's kind of hard to beat us because we allow the ball to get to where we need to be in order to be successful. But tomorrow we got to play a clean game. It got to be a clean game, and because Texas Southern is pretty tough.
Yes, sir, definitely. And that's all I can have for today, y'all. Thank you for another episode of Panther Sports Zone. Coach, obviously, thank you for being here today.
I appreciate you.
I mean, you're going to have a successful weekend. We're going to see 2 more wins on these next 2 days.
Yeah, we take one at a time, brother. One at a time.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Welcome back to another episode of Panther Sports Zone. I'm here with Braden Johnson, and today, I mean, he played obviously an established game. They won 10-6 against Alabama A&M. Braden, I mean, you played great today. Obviously, your team played great today. Y'all had a key couple of errors here and there, but obviously it was great enough to do a great out playing to win. How do you feel about your team's success today?
It was awesome to see us come out and compete. We've been working hard all winter, all fall, and it kind of came together. A little slow start, but we brought it together and played the game like we know how to play.
Definitely. I definitely agree with you saying that it's a little slow start, but obviously y'all are winners, so we know how that really goes. So we know y'all will always be great in the win. Y'all have a big game tomorrow at 7 o'clock against Southern University, another great established team. What can y'all do differently that y'all did in this game to make sure that is a safe and comfortable win for us tomorrow?
Yeah, so the key is all off season we've been working on being consistent, having back-to-back good days. So what we need to do tomorrow is come back and make adjustments based on today's game. So the little inconsistencies that we had today, we kind of dwell on that, not dwell on it, but let it sit and then come back and try to, capitalize off of those mistakes so we can come out ready to go.
Definitely. Thank you. I mean, obviously, Panthers, y'all need to come out and support. Be here tomorrow, 7 o'clock at Minute Maid Park to support your Prairie View A&M Panthers. Always great to have you, brother. Hey, man, let's go Panthers.
They competed against Texas Southern on the second day and faced a 2-3 loss. This game was competitive with its scoring being scarce throughout the game. Most notable about their performance in the game was their opportunity to cash in at home. Throughout the game, the Panthers had 10 players on base this game, yet struggled to score. The Panthers scored in the first inning, putting pressure on the Tigers to score. Texas Southern rallied back, scoring 2 runs in the second inning. Prairie View struck back in the 5th, tying the game. However, the game went down to the wire, with Texas Southern scoring late in the 9th inning. This led to Prairie View's record to be 1-1 at the tournament. We have Joshua Fontenot, who was able to cover this matchup. In the final matchup of the Cactus Jack Classic, Prairie View faced the Southern Jaguars as the final chance to come away with the Cactus Jack Classic tournament victory. The game's stakes were known. 2 teams desperately needed a win in dominated fashion. Throughout the first 5 innings, Southern took control, scoring 9 runs. Prairie View rallied back in the 6th inning, scoring 2 runs from sophomores Landon Williams and Jordan Williams, and what hoped to be the start of a comeback. Southern shut down at any point of a comeback in the last 3 innings, with 3 runs scored to close the contest.
Welcome back to KPVU-TV's Panther Sports Zone. My name is Khalid Gray, and we're here at the last day of the Cactus Jack Classic. It's day 3 in a game where Prairie View needs to not only win this game, but to put on a complete masterclass. I mean, a sure offensive dominant game. And we're going to be giving you guys live updates throughout the whole game to show you guys what our Panthers are doing. But like I said, this is an important win that needs to happen. But on top of that win, it needs to be sheer offensive dominance. We will see you guys in a little bit. Welcome back, KPVU-TV's Panther Sports Zone. My name is Khalid Gray, and I'm here pre-game with Coach Riggins. Coach, this is a very important game, not just because you have to win, but because you have to put on an offensive dominance to be able to deliver more than the other constituents that you guys have played against this whole weekend. So going into this game, what is your game plan and your goal for your players going against this matchup?
When we go to the plate, take what they give us. Last night, we took a lot of good pitches and swung at a lot of bad pitches. We can't do that tonight in order to win. We got to go in there and take what they give us. If it's the ball away, hit it away. If it's in, pull it. And make good quality pitches and make good plays. If we can do that, we'll have an opportunity to win.
So one of the things I was going to ask you, we saw in the Alabama A&M game and we saw last night against Texas Southern, going late into the innings, late game, what is the factor in Prairie View taking out the win? Is it discipline? Is it focus? What is it that's going to help you guys dominate not only in the first set of innings, but the last?
It's always discipline. Discipline and focus, and understanding what needs to be done in order to win the game and what needs to be done prior to a play being made, right? So in baseball, you have to think the plays ahead of time or what you're going to do if the ball is hit in a certain place in order to make those plays. If we do that, then we'll make them.
My last question to you is, it's cold outside. Do you think that has a factor at all?
No, it shouldn't. When you're in the game, you really don't feel it because the adrenaline and stuff is pumping. It's been colder than this at the beginning of the spring. So I don't think the cold will factor. The other team had to play in it too, so it really doesn't matter.
Well, Coach, we hope you guys stay warm throughout the game. It's a pleasure having this conversation with you, and we'll be back with you guys at the end of the game. This is, like I said, KPVU-TV's Panther Sports Zone with our very own coach of our Prairie View A&M Panthers. We will see you guys at the end of the game to give you guys an analysis of what conspired at today's Cactus Jack HBCU Classic. Prairie View started off slow, going scoreless in the first 5 innings, as well as giving up 9 runs to Southern in the first 5 innings. Prairie View then rallied back in the 6th, pitting up 2 runs and making sure Southern went scoreless in that inning. Prairie View in the last 2 innings, however, went scoreless, giving up 3 runs combined between the 7th and the 8th inning to Southern. This marks the last day of the Cactus Jack Classic, where Prairie View went 1 for 2 on the tournament. Khalid Gray is here on the scene to give a recap of what all conspired. Welcome back to KPVU-TV's Panther Sports Zone. My name is Khalid Gray, and we are here at the end of the Cactus Jack Classic. Prairie View falls to Southern, and they finished the Cactus Jack Classic 1-2. Southern came out a little bit more aggressive. They came out ready to hit. They came out daring PV's pitchers to throw something that they can hit. Prairie View, throughout the game, struggled to gain some momentum. A lot of things and a lot of factors came into play. The umpire threw out our best player in the beginning of the first inning. There was plenty of questionable calls throughout the game, but it wasn't just those 2 pinpoint things. It was a multitude of things that concocted that, I guess, assisted Prairie View coming away with the loss for this year's Cactus Jack Classic. Southern put together a perfect performance each and every inning and ultimately walked away with the win. But this isn't to say Prairie View's baseball team is any less of what they were last season. This is just the preseason. There's nothing to worry about. Prairie View aims to come back this season to dominate like they did last season. We will give you guys live updates and more information and more news surrounding Prairie View's baseball team. And at Panther Sports Zone, we will continue to dive in and give you guys deep analysis of just how this game conspired. This has been Khalid Gray with KPVU-TV's Panther Sports Zone. We will see you guys in the next one.
This has concluded the preseason competition for the Panthers as they prepare for their season opener against Texas College on Tuesday, February 18th, at our very own PVMU baseball field, where we took a commanding 14-1 win against the Steers. The Panthers dominated the entire game, keeping the Steers scoreless until the 5th. When the Steers scored for the first time in the matchup, this spark, however, was extinguished after Prairie View scored 3 more times in the sixth, closing out Texas College. The stars of the game were freshman Chase Moore, who had 3 hits and 2 runs, totaling an outstanding 5 RBIs to assist Saunier Moses added to 4 runs on the evening. Next, the Panthers took towards the next competition against Alabama A&M, where they looked to build on their momentum at the beginning of their regular season.
To continue on the world of baseball and softball, women's softball, the Lady Panthers participated last weekend at the HBCU Softball Tournament in Covington, Georgia against some of the top HBCU talent. The first game of the tournament against the South Carolina State University, the Panthers dominated the competition with an 11-4 victory. In their second game of the tournament, the Lady Panthers walked away with a huge win against the University of Maryland Eastern Shore with a score of 9-1 at the end of the match. The Panthers dominated early, scoring 6 runs in the first inning, setting the tone. This was possible due to an error that led to a Panther score. Mia Nunes, who singled and scored a run, Janiyah Thomas tripled and scored 2 runs, Reagan Green induced Emily Gunther of Eastern Shore to a fielder's choice, scoring a run, and Erin Talley scored a home run to the right field. Hannah Cummo and Kirsten Tinsley each had a single RBI at the top of the third, delivering another blow. These enormous plays solidified the game for the Panthers and enhanced their record to 2 wins and no losses in the tournament. On Saturday, Prairie View faced a doubleheader against NCAT and North Carolina Central, where they dominated 10-6 and 11-6 respectively. In the match against North Carolina A&T, they caught fire quick in the first 2 innings from a Mia Nunes home run, which led Kirsten Tinsley to bring home 2 runs in the first. The second inning saw a score from Michelle Meeks by an RBI from Nia Brown as she walked, giving Michelle an easy trip back home. The Aggies rallied back, scoring 2 runs in the third inning, but sparked a second gear for the Panthers as they went on a 5-0 run for 4 innings. This gap led to Prairie View taking the win at home. In their second competition of the day, the Lady Panthers struggled through the first 3 innings of the contest, going scoreless and giving up 2 runs in the third. However, they managed to gain momentum in the fourth, scoring 2 runs by Dinah McKinley, and Mia Nunes. They rode this momentum throughout the game, tacking on 2 more runs in the 6th inning, which prepped them for their offensive onslaught in the 7th inning. Prairie View scored a whopping 7 runs in the 7th, eliminating no chance of a comeback from North Carolina Central. Mia Nunes led the charge with 3 runs and an RBI. Hannah Cummo scored a run and an RBI as well. This team effort allowed for them to make a 4-0 lead in the tournament. Their last stop was Howard University, but due to complications, led to the match not being completed. Prairie View finished undefeated with a score of 5,030, 2,000 more than FAMU and Grambling, who are also undefeated in the contest, and walked away with the 2025 Watley Cup champions. Congratulations to our Panthers for this incredible start to the season, and we'll be with you guys in the game against South Dakota as you guys participate in the East Texas Commerce Line Classic.
Now we're going to talk about our men's and women's track and the 2025 SWAC Indoor Track and Field Championship in Prairie View showcased an outstanding display of talent, determination, and competitive spirit across multiple events. The 2-day meet featured athletes from various disciplines with several notable performances from both the men's and women's teams. In the men's 60-minute prelims, freshman Eric Brooks led his team with a solid time of 6.96, securing 18th place. Senior Isaiah Barnes followed closely with a time of 7.02. Following Julian Darkins and Jalen Smith, both finishing at 7.06. Placed 27th and 28th, respectively. On the women's side, Danielle Gravely shined in the 60-minute prelims, clocking in at 7.66 to secure the 19th position. Freshman Janiyah Wilkins followed with a 7.79, placing 16th. In the 200-meter, Barnes and Brooks again led the way for the men, placing 7th, 21.67, and 13th, 21.72, respectively. Meanwhile, Bryce McFadden, 21.79, and Darkins, 21.93, rounded out the top 20. Gravely continued her success in the women's 200-meter, finishing 7th with a time of 24.54. The 400-meter prelim saw strong performances from Christian Derrick, who finished 8th with a time of 47.97, and McFadden, who secured 10th place, 48.17. On the women's side, Jasura Miller placed 4th with a strong 56.34. Distance events, Darrell Garson had an impressive showing in the men's distance events, finishing 7th in the mile, 4:27.96. 6th in the 3,000 meter, 9:0.96, and 6th again in the 5,000 meter, 16:25.04. On the women's side, Christina Fitzpatrick stood out in the 5,000 meter, claiming the 2nd position with a time of 20:20.005. Hurdles and field events, The men's 60 hurdles saw Aaron Knight finishing 18th in the prelims with an 8.12, while Sanai Kitchen excelled in the women's event, securing 13th place with an 8.54. Now in the jumps, Devin Miller delivered a strong 2.8-meter performance in the high jump, earning third place. The women's high jump saw Morgan Davila 1.65 meter and Damaya Malone 1.61 meter, placing third and fourth respectively. In the pole vault, Darrell McColroy impressed with a 4.50 meter clearance, securing second place, while Madison McColroy took second in the women's competition with 3.28 meters. The throws now made a significant impact, with Caden Berry claiming first place in the men's shot put with a throw of 16.07 meters. In the women's shot put, Kiana Otis dominated the field with a winning throw of 14.53 meters, while Kristlyn Green 13.91 meters and Michaela Booker 13.67 meters rounded out the top four. Now for the relay events, the men's 4x4 relay team put up a commendable effort, finishing fifth with a time of 3:14.48. While the women's team also placed fifth, clocking at 3:50.52. The men's distance medley team finished 8th place, while the women's team took 7th. Overall, the SWAC Indoor Track and Field Championship was a display of resilience and athleticism, with numerous athletes stepping up to deliver standout performances. The competition was fierce, and the Prairie athletes demonstrated their ability to compete at a high level, setting the stage for continued success in the upcoming outdoor season.
And our final story for today's episode of Panther Sports Zone, we're going to dive right into men's and women's tennis. Prairie View's men and women's tennis teams were in action this past Friday at San Antonio, Texas, where they faced the University of Incarnate Word Cardinals, with the women's taking a loss in each match and the men's taking one win in singles. For the women's team, they took a loss in each match, failing to gain momentum through both team doubles and individual competitions. Not much is listed in terms of stats and the outcome of the game, however. For the men's, the Panthers walked away with one win, sparking a small beacon of hope for the season. And this wraps up Panther Sports Zone for today. We're going to come to you guys Friday with, like I said, we have an interview with our Memphis transfer, Jacoby Walker. We have a lot of stuff working behind the scenes with our men's basketball team. We have Cohen Parker and our very own Joshua Fontenot going up Friday as well to talk about the Cactus Jack Classic and everything that happened while being there, as well as the dominating win against Texas College, 14-1, like we've talked about today. We have several games going on. UAPB is playing us here at home. We hope to see you guys there, actually. We have an upcoming game against Mississippi Valley State as well here at the Baby Dome on Thursday. The UAPB games are on Saturday, but they're on, I think it's 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. around that time. But it's the men's and the women's team. We hope to see you guys there as well. We have a lot and lots of more sports coming through. We have a lot of interviews. We have a lot of people that are going to be hopefully facilitating through this studio of ours. But as it is for me, as I hope it was for you, this has been an amazing moment here at Panther Sports Zone. As always, we enjoyed your guys' company, and we will see you guys in the next episode of Panther Sports Zone. My name is Khalid Gray.
And I'm Joshua Fontenot.
And we will see you guys in the next episode.